More than 3 months ago, a certain game mode has terrorized the majority of the Cookie Run player base, where only those without skill issues have triumphed during its release. Just kidding, more like those with a lot of resources to spare. If you don't know what I'm talking about, it's this: the Decadent Choco Cake Tower. This game mode used to be frustrating, but with the introduction of this girly, new magic candies, and the plus 30 biscuits, this game mode has become, and I can prove it to you by speedrunning this tower. Now, speedruns generally involve clearing a game in the fastest amount of time. There's really no minimum number for something to be a speedrun. To make this challenging, I'm going to try finishing the whole tower with half of the dedicated time to complete it. Each tray spans 2 minutes, and with 15 trays, this means that the total time to complete the Choco Tower is 30 minutes. Half of that is 15 minutes, so I have to complete the tower in 15 minutes or less. Alright, this is a long video ahead, so let's go. For tray 1, I used this tea with Stormbringer, Dark Choco with plus 10 Magic Candy, Black Lemonade, Linzer, and Mystic Flower. Stormbringer has 5 searing raspberries with these biscuit substats. Dark Choco has 5 Swift Chocos with these biscuit substats. Black Lemonade has 5 searing raspberries with these biscuit substats. Linzer has 5 bouncy caramels with these biscuit substats. And Mystic Flower has 5 Swift Chocos with these biscuit substats. For the treasures, I used this rare scythe, the scroll, and the jelly watch. Now the game plan here is this. The goal is to manually start with Dark Choco skill for the debuffs and crit damage buff, then Black Lemonades for the debuff and crit damage buff as well, followed by Mystic Flower for the apathy debuff, then Stormbringer to mostly do the damage. After that, wait for Linzer's skill to get 7 stacks, and then auto the rest of the fight. Alright, run time. So tray 1 took about 31 seconds, which means I still have about 14 minutes and 29 seconds left. Quite a good start. For tray 2, I made 2 minor changes to the team. I replaced Mystic Flower with Cream Puff with a plus 10 magic candy for the crit resist she gives. And I replaced Dark Choco with Rebel. Please better here for some reason. Cream Puff has 5 juicy apples with these biscuit substats, and Rebel has 5 Swift Chocos with these biscuit substats. For the treasures, I just replaced the side with a whistle, because this tea will be crying from all that crit puff. For the game plan, I just want to manually start with Cream Puff skill, then Rebels, then Black Lemonades, and then Stormbringers. After that, I'll just wait out Linzer to get 7 stacks, and then I'll enable auto, so I can like this video. So now, here's the run. So that took about 45 seconds. So I still have about 13 minutes and 44 seconds remaining. That's still a lot of time. Moving on to tray 3, the team and everything else is the same. So let's head straight to the run. So that took 44 seconds, which means I have exactly 13 minutes left. Going to tray 4, everything is still the same as tray 2 and 3. So again, let's proceed with the run. Well, that took about 40 seconds. So simple math tells me that I still have 12 minutes and 20 seconds. That's faster than I expected. Now to tray 5, we're going to have a change of team. I used Rebel, Royal Margarine, Prune, Linzer, and Mystic Flour. Prune has 5 Swift Chocos with these biscuit substats. Royal Margarine has 5 Searing Raspberries with these biscuit substats. And Linzer, Rebel, and Mystic Flour have the same toppings and biscuits as in the previous trays. For the treasures, I just replaced the whistle with the pin cushion. Now the game plan here is simple. The aim is to start with margarine skill, then rebels, then prunes, and then mystic flowers. Then wait for Lindsay's 7 stacks, then auto. So now let's dive into the run. That was literally 37 seconds flat. So I still have 11 minutes and 43 seconds left for 10 trays. But before we move to tray 6, let's have a quick ad break. So tray 6. For this tray, we're going to have a big change of team. I used pure vanilla, street urchin, tortatin, linzer, and dark choco. Street urchin has 5 searing raspberries with these biscuit substats. Tortatin has 5 searing raspberries with these biscuit substats. Pure vanilla has all of Mystic Flower's build, and dark choco and linzer have their builds from the previous trays. For the treasures, it's just the standard whistle, scroll, and jelly watch. For the game plan, the goal is to manually start with dark choco, then PV, then tortatin, and street urchin. After that, as usual, wait for Linzer to have 7 stack, then enable auto. Alright, let's go. This tree was pretty slow compared to the previous trays. It took about 1 minute and 5 seconds. So I still have 10 minutes and 38 seconds left. Just still 1 minute and 38 seconds above the minimum speedrun threshold. But I'm getting a bit worried though. Moving to tray 7, I just used the Team 5 build and strategy, but with Dark Choco in Rebel's place. So now, run time. that took about 30 seconds. So I still have 10 minutes and 8 seconds. Nice. Going to tray 8, I just used the tray 7 team and strategy. So by now, you know that it's runtime. So that took almost 49 seconds, which means I still have 9 minutes and 19 seconds. So about 2 minutes and 19 seconds above the expected time. Going to tray 9, I used the Team 7 team but replaced Mystic Flower and Dark Choco with Cotton and Wild Berry for the stun, since you'd want to perma-stun this boss. Cotton has 5 Swift Chocos with these Biscuit substats, Wild Berry has 5 Swift Chocos with these Biscuit substats, and the other 3 have their builds from the previous trays. For the treasures, it's still the same with trays 7 to 8, and the game plan is the same as that in tray 7. So now, for the 9th time, runtime. So that took 1 minute and 4 seconds. So I still have 8 minutes and 15 seconds for 6 more trays. Now to tray 10, I just used the tray 2 team with the same mechanics. So I feel like vomiting, but I have to say it. Runtime. Wow, that took only 25 seconds. So I still have 7 minutes and 50 seconds. Pretty good. With 5 more trays to go, let's get right into it. But not before subscribing and an ad break when I monetize. For tray 11, I just used the tray 5 team and strategy. So this took about 45 seconds, meaning I still have 7 minutes and 5 seconds left. Going to tray 12, I just used the tray 1 team and strategy, but with Fuzzy Gummy and Dark Choco's place. Fuzzy Gummy has 5 juicy apples with these biscuit substats, and she also has a plus 10 magic candy. Alright, I'll let AI say it this time.
Runtime.
So this run took almost 1 minute and 28 seconds. Which doesn't feel like a speedrun at all. But believe me, this is the best run for my level. Anyway, I still have 5 minutes and 37 seconds for 3 more trays. Moving on to an even harder tray, I use this AoE damage oriented team and it follows the Tray 1 team but with White Lily and BB Pie in Dark Chocos and Linzer's place. White Lily has 5 searing raspberries with these biscuit substats and BB Pie has 5 searing raspberries with these biscuit substats. Treasures are just the usual and the game plan is to basically cast whatever skill is available. Alright, AI, take it from here.
Run time.
That took 1 minute and 12 seconds. Pretty slow but still reasonably fast for this tray. But anyway, I still have 4 minutes and 25 seconds for the remaining 2 trays. Going to the hardest tray, as of now, I use this team with Stormbringer, Elder Fairy, Sherbet, Frost Queen, and Mystic Flower. Elder Fairy has 5 Swift Chocos with these biscuit substats. Sherbet has 3 Swift Chocos and 2 Solid Almonds with these biscuit substats. Frost Queen has 5 Swift Chocos with these biscuit substats. And the other 2 have the same builds as in the previous trays. For the treasures, it's just the typical. But for the game plan, there is a strict rotation. I need to start with Elder Fairy skill for the taunt, followed by Frost Queen so she can spam throughout, then Stormbringer so she can cast her skill at the right time to do damage, and then Sherbet so he can apply Frost consistently at the right time, and then Mystic Flower goes last. Okay, on to the run. This run took 1 minute and 18 seconds. Honestly, it could have been worse, but I think this is pretty fast for this trade. Anyway, that leaves 3 minutes and 7 seconds for the last trade. Going to the last trade, I just used the Trade 12 team with Rebel instead of Linzer. I also just replaced the whistle with the epic side.
Let's get this over with.
This run took 51 seconds, so I'm still 2 minutes and 6 seconds away from the 15 minutes minimum. All in all, I speedrun the Choco Tower in 12 minutes and 54 seconds, which is shorter than what was shown in the thumbnail. And this means that I successfully speedrun the Choco Cake Tower. I even did it in less than half the total time to complete it. Trees 1, 5, 7, and 10 definitely sped the runs, while trees 6, 9, 12, 13, and 14 slowed it down by a lot. Anyway, I just realized that most of the teams needed here are basically RVD teams, with the exception of certain trays. So if you're an RVD god, you'll probably be a Choco Tower King as well. Anyway, because I won, I'm going to try asking other CRK YouTubers to do this speedrun. Who should be challenged?